Okay, thanks, Julio. Earlier I mentioned the customer might ask the question, why should I care? And as we've seen, the key to the answer to that is because the customer can see that you, as an organization, care about them. And the way you demonstrate that is by making your information relevant. Your information is relevant because you've carefully analyzed the audience. Maybe the traditional audience analysis has been working for you, but you dug deeper. You talked with them. You went out and watched them. Your information is relevant because you're delivering dynamic content. It updates to fit the context. It updates to incorporate the latest information. Your information is relevant because you've updated your process for delivering documentation and training materials. You've made sure that you've adapted the process to fit the demands of the customers and included them. And of course, your information is relevant because you've made the customers part of the process. So now I'm going to give it back to Chris.
Thank you, Larry. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the formal part of our webinar. We do have some questions in. If you haven't already submitted a question and you want to, please, again, use that submit a question to the staff box. In the meantime, I will start addressing the comments and questions we've already received. Our first question comes from Joseph. He writes, we have added a doc feedback tool to our web help docs. Are there any software systems you can recommend to automate such feedback? The feedback comes into us as Outlook email.
Leo, what do you think?
Well, again, a lot of it depends on how the information is being delivered. Getting it as email is nice. That's one way to handle it. Better yet would be to have it come into a content management system that sets up alerts that you have a comment in, exactly what content it's referring to, and things of that nature. And there are some CMSs that provide that kind of workflow.
The next question is from Greg. Greg asks, is there a danger that you can listen to one customer and that feedback does not apply to other customers? In other words, squeaky wheel gets the grief.
It certainly is a danger. We might be tempted to listen to a customer that we're more familiar with, maybe a customer who aligns with our perception of who all the customers are. And we really need to make an effort to reach a range of customers. We don't need to reach hundreds and thousands necessarily, but we need to go out and talk to several and try to get a variety of different user tasks, experience levels, environments, that sort of thing. Because if we start tailoring the information for one customer, well, that one customer might be very happy, but we're still in the same trap we were back when we had personas and those sorts of things.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I said about finding the customer that's not telling you anything, because they are close to, if they haven't shut down already. You know, if you get information from sales and service that this person or this corporation is still a customer, and you haven't heard from them, it could be that you haven't heard because they've stopped trying, or it just could be that they don't feel that they're going to be heard, or that they don't feel that they've got significant input. So solicit those who aren't talking to you, and make sure you get in touch with those too to complete your picture.
Okay. Next question. The questioner asks, are you saying that we should stop producing paper user manuals?
Not at all. If that's the right thing for your audience, for your customers, then keep on producing them.
Yeah, there's an aesthetic to paper. You know, this is why Larry still reads newspapers. I do too. You know, you like the feel of something in your hands, and there's going to be a group of people who will still like that paradigm, and they enjoy that paradigm. We're not saying so much as eliminate them, but minimize them. Get them to the point where only the salient information is there, and try to avoid inundating that customer with additional information that may not be relevant to what they're attempting to do when they come to that information.
Okay. Debbie asks, how can I convince management of the need for audience analysis, especially if they think they already know the audience well?
That's a good question. I like that question. It's actually absolutely wonderful.
Sounds like she's tried to convince them and heard back, we already know.
Yeah. The question then becomes, well, what proof do you have that you really do know your audience? Has your sales grown? Are you losing sales? Are customers starting to flee? All those kinds of questions, if the answers aren't what would seem reasonable, then you need to turn around and say, well, maybe we've got a problem here, Houston.
And also, Julio, some of the advice you gave really applies here, and that is to talk to your sales staff, talk to your training staff, people who are in the trenches with the customers, and get their take on whether the information is really reaching the customers.
All right, well, that addresses all the questions that have come in. Thank you very much for that. If you do have additional questions after the webinar, or if you have any other questions, we do ask you to contact us. I invite you to visit our website if you haven't already. In addition to describing SDI and our offerings, our website is also a rich source of information delivered through blogs, white papers, presentations, webinar recordings, and so on. And in fact, we plan to be posting a recording of this webinar on the website shortly. You can also email us at register@sdicorp.com or call us at 919-354-1149. We also want you to know that SDI's consulting team, on which Larry and Julio are members, is available to help you with any information needs. So if you need help determining who your audience is, finding best ways to deliver information, or updating your processes, reach out to us and we'd be happy to help. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Larry, Julio, and the entire SDI team, thank you for participating in today's webinar, and we look forward to hearing from you.